Good morning or good afternoon, depending on when you're watching this. Of course, we record this on typically in the mornings after we're kind of done with the television aspect of KGW News. I'm Chris McGinness. This is Rod Hill.
Hi.
This segment is called Weather Extra, and we promised that we would start kind of delving into some of the questions that people were asking us on our Facebook pages. So I encourage you to keep throwing those at us, and we're going to get to a few in just a second. First, Rod's got a little recap of what's coming our way today.
So second dry day in a row. Hip hip hooray for that. Behind us, you can see what's up top, meaning above the low cloud deck in the valley, beautifully clear. This is Timberline, the camera at the Day Lodge, looking south at Mount Jefferson. As we go ahead and take the main weather computer, there are lots of cameras, even early on this Monday morning as we are recording to show some sun. That's Pacific City's live camera. Look at the wine country. That's a Stoller Family Vineyards estate camera. These cameras at this time Sunday morning still showed a lot of cloud cover. So my point is there are abundant signs that the majority of us will get the sun sooner today than we did on Sunday. 50 degrees the high. Dry weather continues on Tuesday. We may or may not see a Wednesday morning shower chance. Otherwise, that's another dry day. The 2 days with cold fronts that look more wet than not throughout the day would be Thursday with a high of 47, and then again on Saturday with temperatures staying in the 40s. Overall, pretty quiet week coming up, Chris.
Above average, too, in the temperature department, which leads nicely into our first question. So let's go ahead and get to it. This is, by the way, kind of a recap from we did National Weather Persons Appreciation Day last, what was that, Wednesday?
It was a wonderful day.
It was a wonderful day. It should be every day, right? Linda Wilkinson wrote it. I took a meteorology class in college, and I didn't understand any of it. I wish people wouldn't blame you blame you guys when the weather doesn't always turn out exactly as predicted. Thank you, Linda. You are welcome, Linda, on the Sunrise Extra program anytime you want.
Let me give Linda a hug here. Thank you, Linda.
All right, so that said, this is her question. Do you think we will get snow before the end of winter? No pressure.
Well, I mean, if you look at the Outlook maps, I mean, I looked at something called the Canadian model and the American models and the European models yesterday, and boy, all of them are going really pretty quiet and somewhat mild into March. So you would have to say there's nothing we can see now that would indicate any chance of anything other than maybe an early dusting like we had a couple of Mondays ago.
And the GFS model goes out now 16 days, which basically takes us to the end of February. And there's like 1 or 2 12-hour periods there where like a little something comes through that might be considered, I don't know.
Yeah.
If the big if it actually happens, might be enough to provide 500-foot snow levels, maybe 1,000-foot snow levels, maybe.
But if you're going by just what we see right now,
no.
The answer is no.
Yeah, really. Pretty much no. All right, next question, and this one comes in from Heather LaFreese in Spokane. Actually says, "Happy National Weather Persons Day." Yes.
Thank you.
The more important question is, how soon can we expect 75 and sun?
Ooh,
man,
you have to wait a while to see that, right?
So I had to go do a little research on this. First of all, I know Heather is writing in from Spokane, so I thought for her benefit we would just kind of give you what it looks like generally east of the Cascades, which is obviously a much different environment than here in the valley.
Right.
What you're looking at is a screen grab from the Spokane Weather Service office. The brown line here in the middle represents the average or the mean temperature normal over their 30-year average here. And typically, Spokane actually doesn't get into the mid-70s until well into June.
Wow, I was going to say colder climate than we have here in Portland.
Yeah, colder, but also warmer.
Depending on the time of the year.
Also warmer. So I went back and I said, okay, well, what did it do last year? And that's what the blue numbers in here represent. Looks like it was about May 5th, May 6th, May 7th. There was a nice little run there last year of temperatures getting up to 75, and then they were way over that as we got deeper into May. They had a bunch of days over 75 last May. Now, that was in Spokane.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back here to the valley in the Portland area. What you're looking at here, okay, there's a lot of numbers on this graph.
Yes.
Data's cool, right?
I'm dizzy.
Okay. So the first thing I want to ask you, Rod, well, it's probably not fair because I already gave you the answer.
But I'll tell people what I guessed.
The first,
go ahead.
What is the typical day that Portland at the airport registers? Let me rephrase that. What is the earliest day that Portland has ever registered 75 degrees?
And I guessed March 9th.
That was a good guess.
And the answer is?
March 11th, 2005. That was the earliest PDX has ever hit 75. This chart here, this is a really great chart. This is on the National Weather Service website. And basically, it charts out all the maximum high temperatures and the frequency at which those occur throughout the year. So obviously it's never hit 75, it's never hit 70 in January and above, so that's why there's all these slashes. It's only hit 70 probably like once. I looked that up when that was in February, and a little more frequent in March. We don't start to regularly get into that 75-degree warmth, by the way. The average first time that our average high is 75 degrees is actually June 21st. That's the average high temperature on June 21st in Portland. We typically get there a lot more frequently, as you can see before. So bringing that back to our map here, we'll look at greater than or equal to 75. March, we do it maybe half a day. So that's, what is that, about like every other year we hit 75 in March?
Yeah.
And then as we get into April, we average about 7 days at 75. And then in May, we average 21 days. And in June, 39. So how to use this table. Maximum temperature in May, 75 degrees or more, 21.9% of the time.
But you know what's surprising to me is this column in May, Chris. So if I'm reading this correctly, this says for the month of May, hitting what? Am I reading this right? Hitting 50 degrees or above?
Greater than or equal to 50.
The chance is 99.9, which means at some point there was a month of May that didn't get above 50. Am I reading that right?
One day.
That
means somewhere in this,
for the day, for the entire.
Somewhere,
okay,
yeah.
I got
somewhere in here in their table.
There was probably a
Here you go. Here's the date. 1981 to 2010 normals. So somewhere in that 1981 to 2010, there was a day
in May that did not get above 50.
Get above 50.
Well, that's chilly.
1 day.
That's a cold, I'm assuming, rainy day. At some point.
Probably.
Wow. All right,
we'll have to look that up and find out when exactly that was. There's all kinds of, I love data. I love looking at stuff like that. I mean, it's just kind of interesting, and it's always fun to put the perspective on it. But 75 and sunny will not be happening in Portland in our 7-day forecast. I can say that with 100% certainty.
For a while now.
For a while. Hey, if you get a question you would like one of us to answer or both of us to answer, go ahead and put it on our Facebook page, or you can also, obviously, for those of you that are watching this on YouTube, post the question at the bottom of the YouTube feed. We'll get to it, and we'll answer it right here on Weather Extra.
All right, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.